been selling on Etsy for the last 2 years, and in those 2 years, I have tried and tested so many different things within my listings, within my listing images, and I am excited in this video to share with you what I've dialed in to be my 4-check process. By the end of this video, you will have everything that you need to take this same process and implement it into your own listings, performing your own listing review, making sure that you're checking all the boxes and your listings are completely optimized for a high conversion rate, making you more sales. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Taylor. Selling on Etsy and a print-on-demand business model is an income stream that I was able to build that allowed me to leave my 9-to-5 and become a full-time entrepreneur. Here on my channel, I share lots of videos about print-on-demand, passive income, and entrepreneurship. So if any of those things interest you, be sure to boop the subscribe button down below so that you do not miss out on any future videos. If you are a regular viewer on my channel, thank you for that, for one. But for two, you know that research is a huge component that I cannot emphasize enough when it comes to being successful with print on demand or even just selling on Etsy in general. Success leaves clues, and we should always be looking towards those who are seeing the success and the results that we are striving for in order to gain inspiration and get an idea of what is and isn't working. Taking this shop as an example, they started in 2022 and they have almost 50,000 sales in their shop. Identifying shops that aren't very old and also have seen a remarkable amount of sales are a great shop to pull inspiration from. Analyzing the shop with EverBee, I can get a little bit more of a breakdown on the success that they've had. Their shop stats are showing that they're estimated to have over $1 million in revenue. That is absolutely incredible for a shop that is 2 years old. Amazing. Now, since we're talking about conversion rate, what I really want to take a look at is their listings and the conversion rate that they're typically seeing across their listings. Now, this requires a little bit of digging here, but super simple to do. I have all of their listings pulled up and I am going to click this customize toggle. There are tons of filters here. As you can see, you can toggle these on and off for metrics and analytics that you do and do not want to see. For this case, I am going to scroll down and let's go ahead and find conversion rate here. I'm going to toggle this on, and then when I scroll to the far right, now I can see the conversion rate of their listings. I like to see the highest converting listings at the top, go through each of them and see if they're doing anything differently within their listings, their listing images, their titles, tags, descriptions, so that I can start to gather some information. Success leaves clues, identify what's working, and try it and test it in my own shop and in my own listings. Jumping into another shop that actually just started this year and has already seen 239 sales. Congrats to them. That is such an amazing accomplishment. Taking a look at the conversion rate for their listings, you can see they're pretty consistent. They have really great conversion rate for many of their best-selling listings. Just to share some other things that I like to analyze, if we go back into that customize column, I'm also going to turn on the number of tags used. I'm going to toggle on customizable and personalizable. Has variations. I think that's a good one. For me personally, I wouldn't worry too much about minimum processing time because I don't really have control over my processing time. I simply can't make it faster because I'm depending on a print provider to do so. So I like to just ignore that. And last, I'm going to add in title character count. Adding these in, I think, just really helps to analyze what are the best practices of these high converting listings, seeing that they are pretty much using as much of that title as possible, up to 140 characters. I can see that they are having some listings that do have a personalized option, so that's something to consider as well. And this shop is also using all 13 tags. I think the more information that's able to be pulled together like this is just going to help refine and fine-tune your best practices and what you are doing inside of your listings. Again, as I mentioned, success leaves clues, so looking and seeing what these shops are doing, what these listings include, can be really helpful in just setting your listings up for success. I'm a big fan of using EverBee for this part of my research, and so I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to get started with EverBee. I actually have a discount, so definitely check that out if you're interested in getting started with EverBee. Etsy is certainly a platform that does evolve with time, and so this research component is really critical in something that you should be doing often. But I am really excited to share with you, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the 4 things that you can do and check within your listings that you currently have, or even just use this as a framework for what to include in the listings that you're creating. And these 4 things are all what I have compiled to be true to get my shop to the conversion rate and the success that I've been able to see within it. So without further ado, let's dig into what I consider the 4 checks for a high quality listing. Check number 1 is your listing images. And there are 5 listing images that I believe that every listing should have. No matter the product type, no matter whether you're a print on demand seller, no matter if you're a handmade seller, these are 5 listing images that are going to include the key information that a customer needs to know about whatever it is that you are selling on Etsy in order to feel the most comfortable and confident with their purchase. What's important to know about your listing images is they sell your product. However, I want you to think about your Etsy listing kind of like a commercial. If you were, for example, looking at a commercial on TV for Chipotle, Chipotle is going to show you in their commercial the best burrito that they have. What they're not going to do is show you the entire menu. Why? Because the entire menu is not relevant. You're gonna see that when you come into the store. And so that's what I want you to think about within your listing images. You want them to be as bare-boned as possible, where they sell the product, they give the customer everything that they need to know, but you don't need to tell them too much, because when you tell them too much, it gets to be a little bit overwhelming, and a little bit of decision fog and analysis paralysis starts to emerge. And often I find that listings that actually have too much information in them don't convert as well. The first listing image that you should include should be one that shows your product. The second image that I recommend having within the listing is product highlights. The third is going to be sizing information. The fourth image would be color information. And then last but not least, we also want to include some form of social proof. Now, I'm not gonna dive super deep into all of these different listing images and what they look like exactly in this video, because I already have a video that does so that I will have linked above in the cards on this side or this side. I never know. One of these days I'm gonna learn, but it'll be up there and in the description for you to check out after this video. The second check that you're gonna perform on your listings is looking at the titles. Is your title truly optimized for search results? One of my favorite ways to easily check a listing title is by just highlighting the different keyword phrases that I have within it and throwing them into the Etsy search bar. When I do so, Etsy is going to auto-populate some different suggested search phrases that might be related to what I'm typing in. And generally, if there are a few different search terms that pop up, like you can see here, then often that is a good indicator that what I'm putting in is something that is actively being searched for. When you're performing this check, what we don't want to see is if I take a keyword phrase that I'm using in a title, put it into the search bar, and nothing auto-populates. It looks like this. This is generally an indicator that nobody is looking or searching for what you have typed in there. And because Etsy works as a search engine, if nobody's searching for what you have in your title, then your title is not going to get matched to that search and you are not going to have eyeballs on your product. No eyeballs means no sales. Check number 3 is going to be your tags. High converting listings on Etsy are typically using up to the 13 tags that are allowed, and you are also allowed up to 20 characters in each of those tags. The fourth check is going to be price point. There is a difference on Etsy between standing out in a good way and standing out in a bad way. And when it comes to pricing, you want to make sure that you are somewhere in the middle. You wanna make sure that you're being competitive with your pricing without being far too cheap and also far too expensive. I have found the best place to be is somewhere in the middle. However, pricing is truly not something that is one size fits all, and depending on the niches that you're serving, the product types that you're selling, you are going to want to do your own price analysis on what others in your area, your niche and product type are selling their products for. And it's best to come up with an average so that you can find your sweet spot in the middle amongst those listings. Of course, with this being said, if you are a handmade seller, you might only have so much wiggle room in your pricing for the cost of the products that you're selling and your time as well in making that product. But if you are a print-on-demand seller, then that is where you want to make sure that you are working with the best print provider that is not only going to give you the best prices, but also make sure that the quality is top notch as well. I have a video that I want you to check out after this that is all about pricing and how to determine the appropriate pricing strategy for your niche and your product type. I will have that linked up above and in the description box below. Overall, for print-on-demand sellers, from my experience, your best print provider option by far is going to be Printify. I have used several different print providers, and Printify has by far always been the most affordable option as far as production costs, shipping costs. Shipping costs are kind of, they are what they are. There's not a ton of wiggle room, at least of what I've noticed from different print providers. It's pretty standard. But when it comes to the actual production cost of the products that you're selling, that is where choosing the right print provider, I think, is truly the key to it. And from what I have learned, there can be quite a difference in pricing for production of product types depending on the print providers that you work with. Why I recommend using Printify if you aren't already is because Printify is actually a network of print providers. So I like to think of Printify on the top like an umbrella, and underneath the Printify umbrella, there are tons of different print providers that you can choose from that also have ratings for quality, efficiency, shipping times, costs, all of those different things that you are wanting to consider when pricing out your products. My controversial take when it comes to pricing and comparing your pricing structure, your profit margins, all to the pricing structure of your competitors is that with Printify, there's two different plans that you can be on. You can be on their free plan and you can be on what they call Printify Premium, which is a subscription that does give you up to 20% off of their products. My hot take is that I recommend all print-on-demand sellers using Printify to price their products for the profit margin that they want to see as if they already have Printify Premium. Hear me out. Yes, in the beginning, you are going to be seeing a lower profit margin, but by no means would you be in the red, in the negative, and losing money by implementing this strategy. This is a strategy that I have done for myself when I first started my shop, as well as the strategy that I work through with the students in my mentorship group. And it is one that they're typically still seeing about 10 to 15% profit margins on their first sales. And this isn't the long-term strategy. This isn't where you are going to sit with your pricing structure and your profit margin long-term. The idea is that this is going to allow you to stand out in more of that positive way amongst the search results, get those sales, build your business, and typically with Printify Premium, depending on the product type, I find that generally around 5 to 10 sales a month is where you are going to essentially be paying for Printify Premium with your profits. And that at that point, it makes sense to make that upgrade in your account, which when you do, you then jump to the profit margin that you calculated out for yourself with your pricing strategy. And it saves you a huge headache down the line because you don't have to then go and adjust all of your prices to make it make sense now for the new Printify Premium production costs, if that makes sense. Overall, the key takeaway that I hope you are taking away here is that pricing is not one size fits all. It's really important to dive into the product type that you're selling as well as the specific niches that you are targeting with that product type and doing your competitor research so that you are finding yourself somewhere in that sweet spot in the middle, not too cheap, not too expensive, and you are going to stand out in a positive way amongst the search results. Be sure to check out the description as I am going to have a list of resource videos for you that are all going to dive deeper into some of the topics and checks that I mentioned throughout this video. I also have a link for you to get started with Printify. If you are not already using Printify, you can actually get 30 days free of Printify Premium with my link, so be sure to grab that. And as a reminder, there's a link for EverBee in the description box as well. If you found value in this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That just supports me as a creator and supports my channel in a free way. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.